on in for another edition of X Feed. Last night, holy smokes, we stayed up until like midnight. We were streaming for 5 hours. We were streaming for 5 hours. I appreciate if you guys were tuned in watching that. It does feel kind of euphoric to be back streaming a game that I'm interested in, that a lot of the community that we've been waiting for, at least on the featureverse side, and for anyone that's been watching the stream, we've highlighted throughout the whole year of we're waiting for this big launch. It ends up happening, and the game had a lot of bugs, but that's to be expected as we do in everything Web3. But if you're tuning in for the first time, what's up? My name is The Shiller. We do a daily live stream Monday through Friday where we go over news, happenings, and things that I just find interesting within the Web3 space, sometimes beyond. But yeah, the good old NFT, KEKW, right? Right. So I saw this and I had to save it. And this was very, very similar to what we saw with, well, I guess the past two streams, where it's been highlighted statistically that the interest has been massively waning. It's not the same. It's absolutely not the same that it has been in the past. Not sure how you are talking with your friends that aren't extremely online all the time. But Alex Becker making this post saying, it may seem like everyone is too bullish right now. You need to step back. On YouTube and Google, crypto interest is still at worse than bear market lows. 85% of people have left, aka they're so bearish they are not even interested. The hope you see here is the 15% left. Hell yeah, it's like a rich piana, 5%. You know what I mean? You know, anybody who was like, yeah, we're gonna watch Rich Piana and become huge one day. That never happened. Sentiment is still nowhere even remotely close to the 2020 run. We need to 3.5x current online action to get there. AKA, while it might seem like we are all bullish, the truth is most of the people in the space are so bearish that crypto is irrelevant to them. And this is the Google search volume for Bitcoin. And you can see back in 2018, massive. 2021 again had a little bit of an uptick earlier in this year, but pretty much down only just like your tokens. How fun is this stuff? Anyway, let's keep going here. Join us tomorrow, September 25th. Well, I guess that's today, 2 p.m. Eastern for an AMA you won't want to miss. Neo Tokyo and Open. So the Third Kingdom game that we streamed yesterday, would love for you guys to go check that out. Don't need to watch the whole thing, but skim through different parts. We replayed some interviews regarding some ones that I did regarding Futureverse, but Open is one of their big AAA games. This Third Kingdom is supposed to seed resources for this. Didn't know that we were partnered with Neo Tokyo. Kind of makes sense going back to where Aaron, the co-founder of Futureverse, gave kind of like a winky face in response to someone asking if he was meeting Elio Trades at one of the events. But we also have permissionless coming up. More on that in a little bit. Now, I don't know if this is actually fake or what, but Remilia raised $20 million and then canceled their token. The TGE says canceled on this. I don't know if this is a meme, because I really never or haven't seen anyone else talk about it whatsoever. But if that is the case, that is a tough look. So we talk about digital assets. We talk a little bit about RWAs. Yesterday, we had the highlight of the Blastoise first edition on Collector Crypt that sold for a couple $100. And then on Dexerto, which is just kind of a gaming and pop culture X page, I guess, for lack of a better term, they're highlighting a story of one of the Pokemon cards in a physical store getting stolen. $1,200. That's completely down the drain. Hey, let's call the police station. Do we have insurance? Do we have all these different questions about things? And it does kind of suck, right? But I mean, I've seen a ton of stolen bike posts online. I don't know. Just the more you see things, the more crappy stories that happen. I'm like, okay, I understand the digital side of things. So this is really cool from the Call of Duty side of things. I think that we saw initiatives somewhat like this way back in the day when crypto was really popping off and everybody had desires to do something that was bigger than themselves, because again, for certain individuals, they came into many fortunes, for lack of a better term, and they're like, hey, we want to build out certain components, and this isn't that. Optic Methods is someone who was a Call of Duty pro, but they are announcing Zin City Challengers team. And so within the Call of Duty esports landscape, there's really been some massive problems. And this is across all of esports as a whole, and why I think blockchain gaming might have a very, very huge part to play within this, because All of these games are offering massive prize pools. They are having token release incentives, a part of all of this stuff. The more normal that it gets, you don't have to go out and be top of the line within a specific esport. You have these ones, but well, hold on. What if there is a way where if you are the top player within a certain game, you can kind of form, maybe these DAOs will help out. I know that Nouns DAO has been a part of it, but anyway, Methods is basically just funding a challengers team himself, saying full funding, flights, hotel, team passes, etc. 100% prize winnings to the players, no contracts. Now, I'll personally coach the team multiple times a week. I think this is an awesome initiative, and I think we will see more things like this from people within Web3 that do well this cycle. But just a friendly reminder that the esports industry is hurting, and blockchain gaming can absolutely have an impact on improving that. So yesterday we played the Third Kingdom. We highlighted it. It was down for a little bit. I think that if you're building this out, realize right away you can add a ton of prisms to these, and you need energy to be able to do stuff within episode 2. You need a prism for that. The more prisms that you add on your island, the more resources that you need to accumulate to be able to prestige. If you just don't add any prisms to your island, you can prestige at about 11,100 of each of the different resources. There's alloy, there's gold. Again, there's only like 5 things that might sound complex, but if you check out the stream from yesterday, it's really not. It is a free-to-play game. You can try it out by going to enterthethirdkingdom.com. We will be streaming more about it later on. I don't know if we'll get to it today because I have to do some sports commentary a little bit later, but maybe we will. And the only problem that I would say, or feels a little bit like lackluster, is the beginning levels are very, very slow. Like, I feel that it should be a little bit quicker to start off so people are engaged with it, because almost immediately, if you aren't spending on kingdom coins, or even if you are, you set up your entire base, and then it's like, okay, I actually don't do anything. There's not even probably like an hour worth of gameplay off the rip. So speaking of the token unlocks, esports, everything else, Anthem put out this post regarding Wayfinder, which is an AI protocol that is working with Prime, and well, the Prime token, and more so the team behind Parallel. I really don't think people have fully grasped that AI Wayfinder is positioning to me the ChatGPT of all blockchains, except it also does the actions on chain for you directly. And the only way to access 50% of the supply is by staking Prime token. So to go to the Third Kingdom, again, they have 312 million root up for grabs on that. It's not about staking a certain token, but having the prisms, certain assets. I think a lot of different tokens or teams are having this kind of release set up, or at least ones that understand what they can potentially do with it. So very intrigued, and I do think I have a clip. I'm not sure if I have it saved on here. I'm just going super quickly through this. I don't think I do. Son of a gun. I suck. But they did show a little bit earlier. Kalios, the founder, or one of the co-founders of Parallel, was showing their colony game that they have the AI avatars going through it. It was just cool. Soundtracks that hit. I also thought this is kind of hilarious. The Third Kingdom one yesterday, it was awesome. And then, of course, we have Halo. But the other problem that I noticed, and for anybody that's doing content out there, a little bit of a PSA, I got dinged on like a copyright strike, or not like a full copyright strike, to say, hey, this is copyright. You can't monetize the video. You don't get like a strike on the channel per se. But it was saying that one of the songs within the Third Kingdom, not the opening one, but just later on, was a copyright song. And so I disputed the charge after I posted in the Discord, and there was a couple people, shout out Maddie B, and I think it was Helen, that was like, hey, this does not sound actually the same. And then I went back, because I just took it at face value, and I tried to find the parts of the video where we had that second soundtrack, and it wasn't really that close. Like, it was kind of like the certain tones at certain points. It was like, kinda, but like it's not the same song at all. So I tried disputing it. We'll see if YouTube says anything. I'm curious if this gets dinged on other people trying to make content for that. Hopefully that is not the case. Now, we talk about interoperability, and it's like, we're kind of just like, okay, who the hell cares? We say that it's a buzzword, but this was hilarious and made me think of it. For Hogwarts Legacy, somebody was able to, I guess, like mod it and bring in the character of CJ from Grand Theft Auto, and they had Professor Oak from Pokemon taking the place of the main characters that are in the storyline. And they had like Super Mario as like, or Mario is the driver of the carriage, which is just I mean, why would you even want to do that? But at the same time, it's kind of hilarious. So, this is a situation of somebody losing their stuff due to not being super aware, thinking the best of people. We're going to go through this super quickly. Very sorry to Avernem for this happening, but just for sake of you being aware. So, number one, someone from Pixel's Discord sent me a DM asking for pet and land prices, and we were discussing some deals. I asked if he was going to send first, and he accepted. He asked me if I was okay to use a middleman to make the transaction safe for him, and he let me choose the person from our mutual friends. I chose a guild owner. When I told him the name, he created a group immediately with this person. The middleman pretended to be someone trustworthy from the Pixels community. So now we have a group with the buyer, seller, and a fake middleman who's just pretending. Same PFP, same Discord servers, fake guild Discord, similar RNS, and similar username on Discord. So, again, you ever do these things, really double check it's the official accounts. It was so fast and I was so excited to sell that I didn't check the profile carefully. I sent the NFTs to the fake middleman and the buyer pretended to send the RON. The middleman also pretended to receive the RON. Expensive mistake, 7,000 RON. So again, just be super, super careful while you are out there. Yo, I'm Dolly Saw, dude. Yo, just had 90 minutes straight of smooth sailing and no bugs in TTK. Atari, unbelievable. Man, what do we do in the game though? Like, my only kind of concern with it is you just set it and forget it. Like there's actually nothing you really do with it except for number go up, which listen, number go up. We're not going to complain about, but I'm excited to see what kind of transpires within episode 2 and if it's going to be a significant bit more. So Charles Hoskinson from Cardano, this is just wild. Okay. So imagine I ask you and we do an interview and then I just make the craziest headlines of whatever we just talked about. Exclusive: Ethereum is a dictatorship, claims Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson. So Hoskinson is like, I'm just going to stop giving you guys interviews. I've had enough of the dramatic headlines and wasted interviews. Like, bruh, what? I get everybody going for clicks, but this is absolutely insane. There's a tiny bit of strategy. I'll DM it. So, man, I full sent the prisms that I had, and man, on the prestige level, I think I totally botched myself on that. Because if you add a decent amount of prisms, it like jumps 10x whatever your required resources are for the prestige team, but we need the energy, so it's like we're supposed to full send it, right? CBB coming through again. DAOs are just huge fails. Either no one cares or a few actors will try to push decisions for their personal interest. For anybody watching, if you're not familiar with the DAO, basically it is a group of people that vote on what they want to do with a bunch of money and or assets. And so the decisions that people just go for personal interest absolutely always happens. But if the DAO collectively is on a specific road that they want to achieve, it can absolutely be beneficial. But there does seem this connotation that we've seen, throughout the existence of DAOs over the past little bit, that most of them haven't worked. Is that because prices aren't the way that it is? Is that because certain individuals have massive votes, which is a big problem in the ApeCoin DAO, which we've highlighted a lot? I mean, I still think that we're going to see DAOs play a big role, or guilds. Maybe that's a better term. That like it's not DAOs, it's more towards guilds, where it's still like that group of people, but DAO almost has like a hyper negative connotation to it. Like people have that reaction to NFTs if they're not on board already. You know what I mean? We got to get them on board. Okay, so Luke Franks, let me get this straight. An anime style battle royale mobile extraction shooter on Rodin Network. Oh my goodness, guys, games are getting advanced when we have that sort of description, where you can start earning immediately and with live match prediction markets. That is absolutely insane. Playing a quick clip from this, but this is Extremeverse. And I'm pretty sure Futureverse has said like they're trying to do something similar with like a battle royale if there's prediction markets in front of it. I mean, do we just kind of see a carbon copy of what other people are doing, right? For Heavy Metal, during yesterday's stream, the old game from Yuga Labs, where I highlighted, hey, this is a super passive kind of strategy simulation game. That is what Third Kingdom is essentially doing, and now we see TTK, which is very similar and can be compared to that. We see what's going on with Extremeverse. Is that's what's going to happen with Open, or is it a little bit different? I don't know. Now, we are waiting for some big announcements from Permissionless. We've had several different teams announce that they are doing some big reveals. And I guess as of yesterday, the ticket sales were the highest that they've been for Permissionless. So is that based off announcements? I have no idea. Atari, you're going to have an absolute hoot and a holler at that. But wow. For whatever reason, people are wanting to now go to permissionless. And this morning, just in, Visa launches a tokenized asset platform to assist banks in testing tokenized assets and smart contracts. Spain's BBVA is leading the charge, aiming for a 2025 pilot on Ethereum. So, I mean, just to reiterate, as we always say, there's continuing development, there's continuing massive brands getting into the space, there's a continuation of normalcy regarding tokenized assets, digital assets as a whole. We were called crazy before, but now we are looking like absolute geniuses. So, bravo, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Also, cool catch yesterday. Everything that happens, right? We got to watch the markets. Is a launch exciting? Does a launch do anything? Cool Cats up 504% on volume. 10.8 ETH spent. The floor at 0.37. Believe that's up like, almost $100 plus. Yo, T-Doge, what's going on? So that's cool to see again. Doodles, I think the show came out. The Rubik's Cube happened. That's awesome. They've still kind of hovered. They had like an initial kind of perk with it. Hytopia, I think there was something that was supposed to happen. That's another chain that's doing things, the High chain. But Hytopia Worlds or NFT Worlds was originally supposed to be like a Minecraft game, but I don't know if there was legal reasons or what, but they kind of pivoted on it. Can Pie Pandas, I couldn't tell you anything about it, but holy smokes, 0.47 floor. ALTS by Adidas, again, not sure. Bored Apes, 11.8 ETH. I feel like they've been hovering a lot, but the volume super down there. And now that I think about it, I was saying 10.8 ETH, but look, it's a comma. It's not like a period, right? So I'm assuming this is like OpenSea statistics, but I'm talking to my ass there. So listen, that's crazy. But anyway, that's about it for this edition of XFeed. Again, would love for you guys to go check out what the stream yesterday was for the Third Kingdom. We have been playing it here and there. You kind of open it, set it, forget it. You don't need to leave the game open, which is amazing. One of the biggest problems with heavy metal was you just had to run your computer 24/7. But I don't know. I feel pretty good about everything, seeing that we are getting the games out there. I think this game has been relatively fun, even though you don't have anything to do with it. I think it's a lot better than some of the other releases from Futureverse. So excited to see, again, just kind of how it all opens up over time. But Atari, I'm Tolly, T-Doge, and anybody watching over on the VOD, thank you guys for tuning on in. Kind of a shorter stream today. It's been, it's just kind of like a week that like things are happening, announcements are happening within certain ecosystems. The buzz is kind of there, but then when you realize, hey, it's really only us that are out there and seeing this stuff, there's not really the world watching. When does that change at some point? You like the hat. Yo, thank you very much. This hat was actually from the New York trip that Pixel Vault had back on NFT NYC. And we got to go see the Yankees at Yankee Stadium and tour the MLB studio. Yeah, the MLB studio in New York as well. It was a cool bus. We got food. It's phenomenal. But thanks